Todd McShay, draft expert, put out his mock draft, and he talked about Dante Moore, the Oregon quarterback, and he was saying, hey, if he was him, nobody wants to play for the Jets. Well, if you're going to be the second pick overall, now I would hope that Dante Moore would go back and play a little bit more because I've talked about this. I got to have at least 30 to 35 starts, maybe even a little more than that, to get a true sense of just how good you're going to be, because too many teams make the same mistake. Hey, that guy had a great season. Trey Lance, Zach Wilson. That's not enough. You got to have at least 30 to 35 starts in college football. Now, I can go to Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. They had over 50 starts. And you have that bonus COVID year, though. But Dante Moore, should he go back to Oregon? Well, I'm curious, the end result of the playoffs, let's say he wins the national championship. Could he supplant Fernando Mendoza as the number one pick in the draft? It would be really difficult to pass up on that if you're Dante Moore. And from what I've seen, he looks like he's a really good quarterback. But, you know, the UCLA situation where you get injured, you're not playing, and then you end up at Oregon, Oregon can make you look a whole lot better than maybe what you are. I mean, Dylan Gabriel, he played a lot of games, and they won a lot of games. He's probably a career backup quarterback in the NFL. Bo Nix went to a couple of different places, and you're playing big-time football. When he transferred to Oregon. And he's proven that he's probably a franchise quarterback. Joel Klatt, Fox college football analyst, on the advice that he would give to Dante Moore.
If Dante Moore called me today and he said, hey, what should I do? I wouldn't blink an eye. I would say, go back to school, because it's no longer just a financial decision. He can make life-changing money at Oregon, much less the National Football League.
Yeah. He had those comments with Colin Cowherd. Yes, you can make $4 or $5 million. Now, you want to get into that second contract when you get to the NFL. But now you're kind of making that amount of money, 3.5, 4, 4.5. You got Oregon in the semifinals here. What if you play for a championship? What if you win a championship? But I don't see these kids going, hey, I don't want to play for the Jets. Like at some point, the Jets will be a decent team, competitive team. I really feel that way. Now, it might not be in my lifetime, but I'm just saying that there will be a moment where the Jets can actually be formidable if they start making these smart draft picks, these smart decisions here. But Dante Moore, I haven't seen enough of him where I go, boy, that guy can't miss. Because it feels like every time I feel like there's a guy who can't miss, he misses. But that's why I go back to give me 35 starts. Now I got a good sample size. But going to the Jets, going to the Raiders, I mean, nobody's saying to Fernando Mendoza, hey, don't go to the Raiders. Well, the Raiders are just as much of a mess as the Jets are. The Raiders had the worst offensive line in football. You don't even know if Ashton Genty is going to be great. You know, Bowers will be, and you might trade Max Crosby. So what do you got? But you go to the Jets, okay. I mean, the pressure's on, but it's not like the pressure's on that you got to be great. Hey, you just got to be better than the Giants to start out with. The Raiders are in one of the toughest divisions in football, but nobody is saying, Fernando Mendoza, don't go to the Raiders. We know what he can do, and we heard that from Dan Orlovsky. Like the ability to be able to make these decisions at the line of scrimmage. That's the NFL. I don't know if Dante Moore is able to do that. Like Ty Simpson with Alabama, I would say, go back. But then Alabama might say, you know what? You can go. We got another quarterback coming in. That's what happens. It's quick. Because now you can get a replacement. It doesn't have to be on your roster. You can just put it out there and go, anybody want to play quarterback at Alabama? Here's the price. And then you're going to get a lot of applicants there. It's not like, well, the backup is going to be there Fernando Mendoza's brother is his backup at Indiana. They went out and got another quarterback. He's not even guaranteed of getting that opportunity. They're like, no, we're big-time football now. We got money. We're going to go out and get another quarterback here. Yeah, Paulie.
Do you think Ty Simpson of Alabama looked at the landscape and said, yeah, I'm the third best quarterback right now, and that's a good position to be in this draft. I may have to go late first, early second, but the downside is you come back, like you said, and you don't get the reins.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen this. Drew Aller at Penn State. Remember, he was going to be a big deal. He might be the best quarterback in college. And then all of a sudden he wasn't. And does his name come up at any point? It's quick. Man, it's quick. You're really good, you're the guy, and then you are not the guy, or you get injured, or the team's not as good, and then you try to come back. I get it. If Ty Simpson thinks that, and look, he's probably had an agent for the last 3 years. But if you're leaning on people to give you information, and one of my sources has been asked to give information to agents, and he doesn't want to do that because he has information that he has to give to teams, not to agents. And the agents want to know, hey, can you give me a sense? Can you give me and that's what they ask. Hey, where do you think best case scenario, worst case scenario? And do I think Ty Simpson? It wasn't that long ago where we were talking about maybe late first round. Then all of a sudden you hear he's probably a second day, third day draft pick here. And Paul, you're right. If you're the third quarterback, okay, chances are you're going to go a little bit higher than you need to, or you should. Yeah, Paulie.
The Pittsburgh Steelers had the 21st pick of the draft. That could be a position where you go to a better franchise, a more stable franchise. You might have a better chance to have a better career.
I just don't know. I mean, I watched him, and he's smooth. But, you're at Alabama. It's kind of hard not to be good at some of these schools, like Ohio State. I thought Justin Fields was going to be a great quarterback because I saw him in college, and I go, he's a great quarterback. And then all of a sudden you go, I don't know if he can throw the football in the NFL. Yes, he.
Do you know if the type of agent that a college football player can have is different than an NFL type agent? Like, you're allowed to have, there's a marketing agent that gets you like brand deals.
Yeah.
But sometimes that isn't the same thing as the agent who negotiates your contract with the team. That's a different guy.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I wonder if there's a difference when you're in college and like the brand type marketing agent helps with your NIL deals.
Yeah.
But is there that like more traditional sports agent that would be negotiating contracts and stuff?
Well, I would want to get in bed early, so I would want to. If I'm one of these big time agents, I'll negotiate your contract at Alabama or Oregon because then I want to negotiate your contract when you get to the NFL. I want to start early instead of wait till you get to the NFL. Yeah, Paul.
Sean's right on this in that there's different types of agents. The traditional agent from like CAA that rep Patrick Mahomes and the top quarterbacks in the draft. Then there's NIL-specific agencies that have been just blowing up in the past 5 years that handle college guys specifically.